thousands of Channel 4 viewers watched in shock a gunman walking onto our news set and ordering David Horowitz to read a statement on live television. We'll show you what happened, and we'll have details on the man who did it.
A full report on that story and the rest of the day's top news.
Keith Morrison, Kelly Lang, Fritz Coleman weather, Fred Rogan, sports, Jess Marlowe, cover story, and David Sheehan, entertainment. Channel 4 News, Nightside, #1 at 11.
Good evening. It has been quite a day here at Channel 4, and tonight security is being beefed up at KNBC after a gunman walked into our news studio right here this afternoon and on live television at gunpoint ordered consumer reporter David Horowitz to read a message live on television. Nobody was hurt. That gunman is in police custody tonight, and Jess's cover story takes a look at what hundreds of thousands of shocked Channel 4 news viewers watched on television on the 4 o'clock news. Jess?
Kelly, the man who had been permitted to watch the broadcast in the studio had given no indication of his intent. He had been sitting quietly until David Horowitz was ready to begin broadcasting his consumer segment.
Because, you know, one of the nicest things about shopping by mail order... Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. All right.
He's got a gun to his back.
All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
At that point, the control room was ordered to go to black, kill the studio mics, and put up a standby slide. But Horowitz continued to read, and the gunman kept the gun in his back.
I was warned in 1981 by someone with connections at the CIA to stay off the computers, that they didn't trust people on computers. When I began receiving disturbing calls from my parents, which led me to believe that something terrible was going on, I was then forced into a mental hospital in Tallahassee, where I learned that my brother-in-law had been driven insane in the same manner that someone was trying to do to me.
The gun was a precise replica, and police, who by then had entered the facilities, made plans to deal with the situation. But when the statement had been read, the gunman placed the gun on the desk, and anchorman John Beard grabbed it. Burbank police wrestled the man to the floor. He has been identified as Gary Stollman, and he said he never intended to harm anyone. Indeed, the gun proved a fake. But Stollman may still face a variety of charges. He is the son of pharmacist Max Stollman, a former member of the Channel 4 news team reporting on medicine and related issues. Max Stollman said, "I do have a sick son. He has been hospitalized a number of times. I am thankful he wasn't killed." At a news conference this evening, Horowitz, who appeared to maintain his calm throughout the ordeal, acknowledged his fair share of anxiety.
And I've covered enough hostage situations, and I've been in Vietnam, and I know that when someone points a gun at you, you do what they tell you to do and hope that someone's going to save you. You're thinking about your wife and your kids and your family, and you say, what am I doing here? Why is this happening to me? And you just try to maintain as much cool as you possibly can, because I realize that if you do anything out of course, as far as this person's concerned, I don't know whether the guy was a terrorist or a wacko or somebody that was trying to get even for something. You don't know who's there.
News director Tom Capra explained his order to pull the plug.
Is that we cannot allow people with guns or weapons of any kind to take a television station hostage. So the first thing you do is go to black and kill the mics to make sure that the message, whatever it is, never gets out.
Co-anchors John Beard and Kirsty Wilde sat through the ordeal, Kirsty worrying that she had okayed Stollman getting into the studio.
He called me to get in. You can't just walk in here. He called me and said that he was Max Stollman's son, and he lived in the East, and that he had never had the opportunity to see his dad while he was on our air, and could he come down and watch the show.
He had a pass, I noticed the pass on his chest.
That's right.
And nobody noticed anything out of the ordinary until David is on. He's standing behind David, and at first we thought it was just someone who was mixed up, confused, didn't realize he was in the way.
Once the crisis had ended, there was time for reflection and concern for Max Stollman, the gunman's father.
Max is a terrific guy.
Max is just one of the nicest people in the entire world.
Absolutely.
And it is awful that this should happen to anyone connected with Max. He's just, and you know, we love him.
Gary Stollman remains in custody. Charges may await a psychiatric evaluation. No one was injured, as Kelly indicated, and the principals involved are tonight regaining their composure. Security has been tightened to the extent no one is permitted in the studios without a permanent pass. Visitors' passes will no longer be accepted. Keith, Kelly.
All right, Jess, thank you.